Could Teddy from Persona 4 actually be the shadow of you? Not you, I mean you. No, you. Not you, you. You, not you.
Are we really doing this?
Now, it's pretty common in Persona games for protagonists to not have a shadow, but still have a persona. Some protagonists even do a weird thing where they fuse with their shadows. Or at least that's what I'm told, since I've never actually played the Persona series. But neither has MatPat, and he did a whole video on it. Anyway, a character not having a shadow is pretty common for some reason in the Persona series. It just seems to break its own established rules whenever it wants, which is confusing for someone who's not a huge fan of the game. But regardless, the theory that Teddy is actually Yu's shadow has a few pieces of evidence for it, and a lot of evidence against it. Yu lacks a shadow, and Teddy lacks a human, and has memory loss. So story-wise, there has to be a link here, right? There's also the Velvet Room. Only people with contracts may enter. Yu is the only member of your party who can enter. Except Teddy can too, for no known reason. If Teddy was Yu's shadow, that would explain why he could enter as well. Another piece of evidence is at the end of the game, where Yu gets the support of those he's maxed out with friendship. But if you played the game by not socializing with almost anyone, only Teddy would show up to lend you support. So is this theory true? Fuck no. It's not explicitly explained why Yu doesn't have a shadow. It may be because Yu is confident in himself. On April 18th, 2 days before 420, the characters ask why Yu never had to face a shadow. And the reason is, he doesn't reject any part of his personality. He doesn't hide anything. He is completely open about himself. And has no inner demons. Thus, he wouldn't have a shadow. He's just too perfect, damn it! But who's Teddy's human? Well, that one we don't know. See, in the Persona series, the characters are based off of tarot cards. Essentially, they are just some psychic BS that tells you about yourself in the future. Anyway, all of the characters on your team have shadows that are the exact opposite of themselves, according to the tarot cards. And we know that Teddy is the star card. Therefore, his human would have to be the opposite of the star. The reverse star. And what tarot card does Yu represent? The Fool, not the reverse star.
You fool!
In regards to why Teddy can enter the Velvet Room, though the contract part for Persona 4 is true, it's only true for Persona 4. In the other games, before this one, specifically Persona 1 and 2, your whole party could enter the Velvet Room without a problem. So there's really no reason Teddy could not also just enter. But even Igor mentions how it's strange that Teddy can enter.
Shadows, mere fragments broken off from the ego, have no place here. The water's strength has moved a single stone that had stopped, returning it once again into the flow. Very interesting.
So maybe there's some weird rule that only applies to Teddy. Oh, and the reason Teddy will always show up at the end of the game no matter what is because the developers of the game knew you weren't gonna want to have to befriend this annoying fucking teddy bear. Since Teddy is one of the most important characters in regards to plot, the game has to force you to befriend him in order to get the story going. And honestly, wouldn't it just be the saddest thing if literally no one showed up to help you at the end of the game against Izanami? This is probably one of the dumbest theories MatPat has ever done, besides the fuck up that was shouldn't save the animals, Sans' Ness, and who could forget the Wario fart episode. Know that MatPat is not the authority on what is true and what is not. Neither am I, to be honest, but whatever. So take the things he says with a grain of salt. Make your own opinions, and don't lash out when you get proven wrong.
An old franchise with self-contradictory lore, and a very dedicated and very protective fan base. A fan base that I have no doubt is sure to hate whatever I say in this episode, regardless of how much research I do, poking holes in the theory as a result of that aforementioned contradictory lore. I can't think of a better way to demonstrate exactly that. Well, outside of making it a bit more obvious so it doesn't take a theory 10 years after the fact to expose the truth.
No need to be antagonistic, Matt. That's my job. So who is Teddy's human then? Well, it may actually be someone who isn't even from Persona 4. It may be a character from Persona 3. Tsuji Ikazuki. Now this is just speculation because he's a character in the game that never gets scanned to see what tarot card they are. But his personality traits are quite similar to the Reverse Star. He's a character that wants to bring death to all mankind because he is filled with apathy towards life itself. Personality trait similar to the Reverse Star tarot card, and the complete opposite of Teddy. He's also a scientist obsessed with shadows. Perhaps his obsession started when he separated from his own shadow. But I don't know, it's just a thought.